Okay. I've set up everything in Moodle. How many of you have never seen Moodle before? One. It's everything on Moodle is right here on the home screen. You will turn in all of your work in my IT lab. I'll post information here for you. And then if I need to contact you, I'll post in this news form, and you can read this news form just by clicking on it. It'll also send you an email as well when I post there. So that's how I'll communicate with you outside of the lectures. Over here on the right-hand side of my IT lab is my IT lab link. That's going to take you into the classroom. This is where you're going to submit all of your assignments, and we'll go over that here in a few minutes. Put the welcome. Here are my office hours are posted here. It's over in the computer science building across 501. I'm in room 160A, and I'm there Monday and Wednesday 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Friday 9:30 to 12:30. And contact me through my email here. And then here's the information for the book that you'll need if you haven't purchased it yet. This week we'll go over the syllabus. I'll go ahead and open that and I'll read that for you so you know what to expect in the class. I've written everything out in Moodle. So here's what we're going to do for the first week. We're going to register for my IT lab. Make sure that you have Office 2013. Office 2011 will not work, and Office 2016 won't work. It has to be 2013. Okay. So there's the purchase. It's $35 for a PC if you don't have it already. That takes you to the school's website, and you guys can purchase it as a student. Course ideas for the My IT Lab. If you do choose to use 2011, we've told you, specified, it's better to use 2013, because if you don't, when we get into more of the advanced chapters, you won't be able to do them. Or you could with a little bit of research. When you get into chapters 9 and 10, you can't use 2011. So if you need to start off with it, you can, but at least towards the middle of the class, you need to have purchased Office 2013 or use the computer labs here at the school. So what we'll do this week is chapter 1. There's a little training assignment. I'll show you how to do it. I think it's 8 questions. It doesn't take very long at all. You'll read the skills in the book. At the end of these chapters, you'll have these skills. You'll take a look, and at the very end, it's just skills. It just tells you to read through. It gives you a little bit more advanced explanation on the chapters. We'll register for my IT lab. If you, we'll go through my IT lab today, and I'll describe all of this to you. If you get lost or don't remember how to navigate, I put some videos here for you. You can read and watch those videos to refresh on how to use the software. And then there's the second part of the training and the 2 greater projects that are due on the 18th. And I'll show you how to use those. Questions so far? Go ahead and click on the syllabus here. Office hours, everything's there. This is a 3 credit hour course. You have to earn a C or better for your major. And we're gonna practice using a Microsoft Office again. It's mainly an Excel class. We'll use a couple different programs possibly in some of the lectures, but all of your activities will be in Excel. You'll start off with basic arithmetic. We'll move on to some functions. We go into they're little advanced functions, some if statements, and the last chapter is about pivot tables, which shows you how to manipulate data just by dragging and dropping in Excel. Mandatory attendance for this class. The college gives you 7 days. After your 7 days, then you don't pass the class. So if you have an emergency, you're going to miss class, keep in contact with me so I know what's happening. If you've missed more than 7 days, then you'll receive an F for the class and you'll have to retake it. Participation in this class is going to take a lot of effort on your own time. We have 3 class days. Monday you'll be working on, with the exception of this next Monday, we have our holiday. But Mondays you'll pretty much catch up from the work if you haven't finished it yet. And I'll go over that in the syllabus there. You'll have some class time. I'll give you Monday's class time and Friday class time to work. Wednesday is going to be set aside for the lectures, so I can describe what the chapters are about and help you. We will use My IT Lab. Your grades and all your assignments will be turned into My IT Lab. Academic integrity. These grader projects are one of the assignment that we get the most integrity violations from. You download a file, make changes to the file, and submit it to the assignment. 2 things happen. One, if you save it to these computers and someone else gets a hold of it and submits it as theirs, it's still going to flag as both students, so both of you will get a 0. I'm not sure if there's another class of this section in here after this one or not, but save it to flash drive, save it to your OneDrive. Don't save it to the computers here in the lab, because if someone submits it by mistake, then it's going to flag an integrity violation and both of you get 0s. If it happens again, then you're sent to administration. So just one thing that you will have to take away from this class is file management. So make sure you know exactly where your files are. If you've submitted them and you like your grade, I suggest just delete them. If you need to use them, you can always download them again. Okay? In this class, notice I have your class projects are the highest percentage of your grade. That's the 2 grader projects that you'll do each week. All of those add up to 80% of your grade. So that's where your grade is. Then we're going to have a midterm and a test and a final. And they're 10% of your grade. So if you complete the class projects each week, you will have no problem in this class. Standard grading rubric there. Disabilities, again, absences. In order for it to be an excused absence, contact me and then also supply some documentation. An email documentation or an email from the school is just fine, as long as you have some type of documentation to support your absence. If you're after 10 minutes to class, you'll be marked absent. The online students their attendance will be taken based on the assignments turned in. Class conduct, just treat each other with respect. We're adults at this point. We should be able to respect each other. If there are situations, I'll ask you to leave the classroom or send you to administration. All right, questions on the syllabus? Okay, at the bottom of the syllabus, I wrote out the class schedule for the entire semester. So of course, today is first day, I'm going through this. Wednesdays are going to be set aside for lecture days. And then Friday I have them open, they're going to be classwork days. If we look down here, Your first section's due again after the lecture on there, and then Friday you should be able to complete everything that's due for the week. It's nothing that's really that hard, especially the first few weeks. Stay here in class, ask your questions, and you should have no problem turning in any of the work. I did put all of the due dates on Monday. Every assignment in this class, except for the midterm and the final, will be on Monday. That gives you the entire weekend to work on anything. It also gives you class time on Monday to come ask questions before the assignments are due. Okay? So we do chapter 1. Chapter 1 is here. 1 and 1 part 2 is all due the 18th. Then we move on. Chapter 2 is due the following week. Chapter 3. If you look, the chapters are very short. The assignments are very short. 3 and 4 and 5. Each week you're going to have a chapter due. Each week I'll lecture on the information in the chapter. When we get to February 17th, we will take this week and the following week to catch up and review for the midterm. And we will take the midterm. Late assignments are not accepted in this class. Everything will close after the due date and you won't be able to submit them. Okay? So make sure you get it all turned in on the due date. Again, we have Monday's class to take advantage of that if you happen to be running out of time. Okay? Midterm, we have the midterm on Friday. I've set it up for Friday. And then we have our spring break in March. We come right back on that Wednesday for a lecture, and then we pick right back up, chapter 6, 7, 8, 9. After spring break is when we get into the advanced chapters. Chapters 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10's not really that hard. 6, 7, 8, and 9 are pretty tricky. So you will need more time to complete the assignments. So don't take the class for, you'll get through the first 4 chapters pretty easily. After spring break, you'll have to put some more time into it. Okay? So 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 we finish up with the pivot tables. And then we start reviewing for our final. I'm going to have an exam on the 25th. That'll be the first exam that you saw. The midterm will include chapters 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10 will be included in that exam. Then your final exam will include everything from all of those chapters. I'll go through both of the information with you in the review. There won't be any surprises in the exam. You would have seen all of the questions if you took all of the practice tests. And study day is 28th, and then this is all blocked out for the final exams. As soon as the schedule comes out, I'll post the exact exam date and time. Any questions? That's the syllabus. The next part is my IT lab. I want you to go ahead and follow along at this point. You can't really click this button, but I don't have anything right. Let me write down. Is the information for registering for my IT lab. So let's just see if I can do this. Did everybody see that? This is the link that you need to go to. It's Pearson, MyLab, and Mastering.com. If you don't have your book yet, we're gonna register as, you still go through the registration process, just like, unless you already have a Pearson account. Does anyone already have a Pearson account? If you already have a Pearson account, just log in and we'll register for the class. If you don't, you have to register by selecting the student. When you register, use your school email address and the password that you use for Moodle. That way it's easy for you to remember it. Click student. Do the register now button. You're gonna have to put in the course ID. Here's the course ID. Of course, the online class is different code, but this is what you guys put. So go ahead and type that in, and you should see the 110-01 class. And that's where you'll enter your Pearson login. Alright, there's where you'll put in your Pearson account here. Or if you don't have one, you'll press create and you'll fill in the information. Put your school's username, email address in there. Fill out the information. And then it's going to ask you for your code. And so that's when you use the code from your book. If you purchased a used book, you have a chance to purchase an access code with the credit card. If you don't have your book yet, go ahead and choose the 14-day access. You can put in your code once you get your book. If you plan on purchasing a used book without a code, then you'll have to purchase one with your credit card in order to access the class. Yes? You can just buy the access code, use the ebook, yes. That is an option too. The ebook is enabled in the classroom if you purchase it.
Can you go back to the course ID?
Mm-hmm. Can you see it? Does it need to be bigger? Then you click go to my courses and you should have a course titled CSCI 110-01. Yes.
doesn't work. You need like.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a little pamphlet. Who has one? Does anyone have one? That we're gonna be temporary access. Did you buy that?
Yeah, well, I rented it,
It's running the wrong idea.
but if you had the kids, I mean, I don't know, actually,
Doesn't work.
This is for the course materials and Pearson site.
Oh, okay.
But there should be a little orange pamphlet that has what you rip off. So you'll just have to use the temporary for now,
Okay.
or buy the code there on the previous screen. Yep, go ahead and push on the classroom. Once you log in, you should see. After you've already done this, you go through this process one time, and then after that, you can click on the My IT Lab button in Moodle, and it'll take you to this login screen. And you have to put in your full email address. And then it'll take you, mine's got one more step, you guys won't see this part. Then this is the, I don't know if you guys get this or not. That's the home screen. So once you're here, we'll move forward from there. There's some videos again that shows you how to navigate through the software after this class if you're not sure. Is anyone not there? All right, good. So now everybody should be in the classroom and you have access to the assignments. If you look at Moodle, if you scroll down Moodle, everything that I put on the calendar in the syllabus is more detailed here. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and so on. These are the assignments due, and these are the reading sections in the book that I showed you earlier. So you read those sections, complete the assignments. All these assignments you'll see in My IT Lab. And it goes all the way through, you can look and see throughout the week. You navigate My IT Lab through the left-hand side, right over there. And you guys will use, do I have students, yeah. What do you guys have? Getting started is information here. There's the user guide as well. I have the videos on Moodle, but there's also some more information in here if you would rather read it instead of watching the video. You can click this student user guide as well. What you'll use the most in here is the assignment calendar, so I'll go through that one first. If you click on the calendar, it's going to look similar to the calendar that oops, that's not what it is. Is that what you guys do? You guys get it? Oops. This. All right, when you look at the calendar, there's little time clocks on the days that information is due. If you that your assignments are due, if you click right there, go ahead and click on 18. It'll show you the assignments that are due, when they're due and the time, and then you can actually click there or click on the name of the assignments and start them. Another section, you can click and use that. The other section to use, and this I don't think is in the videos, but I like to show this one because it's much easier to keep organized. Click on the to-do/completed. And this will do the same thing except for it gives you two options. You have a to-do completed. So go ahead and click on the to-do list. And it'll give you a list of all the assignments that are due. So you can scroll down here and see. The most recent, of course, will be up at the top. If you've started it, it's going to tell you here. If you've completed it, it's going to move over to the next side. So this is where you'll probably spend most of your time, here. And we'll start one of these assignments here in a few minutes. Any questions on that? There's only one more section in my IT lab that I'll show you, and that's your grade book. That's where after you've completed them, you'll have a grade listed right here. If you want to see all of your grades and the total, it will be in the grade book section. So go ahead and close this window. My IT lab pops open extra windows. So notice if you slide this down, you'll see the main classroom behind it. So go ahead and close this screen out. Once you're inside this navigation, the very top is your breadcrumbs. It'll tell you what screen you'll go back to. So we want to go back to the main menu. The main menu has the longer list. That's from the largest list. You also see the getting started. That's how you know you're back at the main menu. And down here you can see where it says grades. Go ahead and click there. And this section, this one here is sometimes a little hard to see. It's broken into categories based on the week. So if you wanted to see what you did in week 3, you could click there and it'll only show you week 3 assignments. But I've set up a custom view so that way you guys can see all of your grades and the total. So if you go over to the left side, it says custom view. Go ahead and click there. And that'll give you a normal gradebook layout. And it'll have all of your assignments. And at the bottom, it says current grade there. So my current grade should be listed right there at the top. Yeah, good. Okay, and then you can scroll down and see that. And your midterm and your training are there. Okay. So those are the sections that you'll use in my IT lab. We don't use any of the posts, any of the discussion boards, or even the email. Always email me through Moodle to that rfolks@coastal.edu. Don't try to use the email in here because I won't see them. It doesn't link to our email address. Any questions? Okay, let me show you how the assignments work. There is a little bit of setup that you have to do on your computer at home to use the training assignments. So, the only thing, I'll go through them at the same time. Actually, I don't think this one you have to install. I think it's just, let's look. So if we go back to the assignment calendar and go ahead and go to the to-do completed list and click to do. Now I'll describe what the assignments are that you'll see in this class. There's 2 types of assignments you'll see. One is a simulator and the other one is a grader project where you'll download the file, Excel file, make changes and submit it. In order for these training simulators to work, you have to have the latest version of Adobe on and you have to have your pop-up blocker turned off, or it'll allow this website. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. In order for the grader projects to work, you have to have Office 2013 installed on your computer. Okay? Because you'll have to use that software to submit the project. So let's go ahead and start. The training projects, actually all of these projects you can take as many times as you want to get the highest grade possible before the due date. So go through the training. If you don't make 100, go right back through it and until you make 100. Take the training until you make 100 before you start on the other projects, because it's going to teach you the assignments and what's expected of you in the grader project. Okay? So go ahead and click on Chapter 1, Part 1 Training and click Start. The best browser to use in this class is Firefox. If you send me an email and say, I can't access the project, so you see the simulator, the first thing I'm going to ask you is what browser you're using. Regardless of what computer you have, you can always use Firefox. If you have a Mac at home or another computer, you can run these simulators without having Office 2013 installed. You have to have it to do these projects. Okay, so you can do the simulator on any computer. Notice what happened when I pushed it. It says that Firefox has blocked the pop-ups. Press Options, and then you can just do right here, allow from my TLab, mylabspearson.com, and then it'll pop up. Okay. And then this screen will load. This screen takes a little while, and it depends on your internet connection. And it'll load here. It's even going to tell you the status of your current connection, so always check that. If it happens to close on you, you lose internet connection, it lets you resume exactly where you left off. So don't be confused. Be worried about that. If it freezes on you, close the window, open it back up, it will start back where you left off. This is what it looks like. This first chapter goes through Word, a couple of the other pieces of software, Word, PowerPoint. So right here is your simulation window, and down here at the bottom is how you interact with it. And this tells you, gives you all your instructions on how to do. Sometimes this block is here, sometimes the block is to the right. It just depends on your screen size and resolution. Either way, it works the same. So the first thing you have to do is read down here in the bold words that tells you what to do. So it says, in the blank Word document, show the non-printing formatting marks. Okay? So if you go up here, right here, if you hold the mouse over any one of those, it tells you what those are. And this one says to show the formatting marks. And that's the little button up there. So if you click on that, then once it's correct, notice how it moves on to the next section. And it says type Aspen Falls Human Resources. Go ahead and type that in. These simulators are space sensitive and capitalization, punctuation. Make sure you type it exactly as it shows. All capitalization, all punctuation, all special characters. If not, it will mark it wrong. And then it says press enter. Once you press enter, it'll either move on or tell you that something's wrong. Okay. And then you simply type the second line there, 500, capital S, ASP Industry. Okay, press enter. So this will tell you what to do, and you complete the tasks here in the simulation portion. This is the navigation button. You can move left and right. This button right here is your friend, especially on tests. If you are completing the task and you know you're completing it correctly, press the reset button. Sometimes it'll remember keystrokes or extra mouse clicks that you do, and it'll keep registering that when you're trying to answer the question. So if you make a mistake and it says wrong and you know you did it right, press the reset button first and then try it again. Okay, so that's what this is for. There's 17 questions in this training. As you see, it doesn't take very long to go through them. There's learning aids here, which will give you step-by-step instructions, videos on what's expected, so on and so forth. If you miss this question 5 times, it automatically launches a training and it shows you how to perform the task. Once you watch that, it gives you a chance to practice it. You get 5 attempts per question before it launches the training, and then it'll allow you to go through. Here are the question lists. If you click on that, go ahead and click on View All. You can move through all the exercises there and load the ones you want. It'll go through here and tell you which ones that you've completed or not completed. If you have to end this training without completing it, just press the little save button right here, and then it will close and resume where you left off. So press the save there. Don't press the submit button. It'll submit itself automatically once you've completed all the questions. If you press submit without having the questions completed, it's going to mark them as 0. Accessibility is for the headphones. Once you're in a computer lab or here, you can bring your headphones, plug it in. It'll actually walk you through the steps and describe it to you as well. Any questions? Once you press enter, it's going to tell you the question's complete, and it'll just move right on to the next question. Keeps up with your status here, and that's how long you have with the chapter. This is where you'll see your Excel, PowerPoint, Word, in this exercise, just to get you used to working with the simulators. Any questions? All right, let me go over the last assignment for you real quick. Last one is the grader project. These are the hardest assignments you're going to have in here. These are going to take you the longest. Go through the training, knock it out, then start on the grader projects. Go ahead and click. Again, you can take these as many times as you want to. These are a little bit tricky to get used to. Here's what happens when you click on it. It says download the files that are available, and then you complete the work, and then you submit the files all on this screen. Okay? So you download the files, save it to your flash drive, your OneDrive, what have you. If you save it to these computers, make sure you delete it before you leave so no one else gets a hold of them. This is where all the integrity violations come from. So go ahead and click on, or you can click on them or watch me. Because I don't want you to save them to these computers. There's at least two files. Some of them have more than two. Two files that start. One are the instructions of how to change the file. The next one is the file that you need to change. So you download them. You can download them in a zip as all and open the zip. If you need help with this, I can go over it with you in the lecture because we're not going to have too much time left. So one of them's always a Word document and one of them is an Excel file. I'm just going to put them on the desktop. So the one that says instructions tells you here, it tells you the purpose of the project and what you're going to do, and then it has step-by-step 1 through 17 and what to change in the file. So for example, this says start Excel 2013, then open the downloaded file. Well, we know we can go and just double click and open the file. Most of them, they either start off with information or blank. You have to enable the editing. Enable the editing there. And it says to add the file name in the worksheet's left footer, return to normal view. So you go to the view, and then here's the footer. This is the left-hand side of the footer. Once you click there, this changes, says insert the file name. Click there. It puts the code to pull the file name from there. And then these are the view buttons. You click normal. Save the work. So then you go through step by step each one of those. That was number 2, then we go down to the next one. Once you've completed all those, you submit the file back. Go back here, upload the completed file. We'll say I'm finished. I'll put it on the desktop. Upload it there. Takes you to the next screen. Make sure you click finish for grading or the one at the top. Because you're not finished here, you have to make sure you move on. Then it's going to tell you possible points. That's not your score. Click on the return to course button. Going back to the My T-Lab section. says in process. If I refresh, or if I go to the completed, then it'll show me right here. Oh, there's down here. There we go. And I say, wow, I know I completed all those. I did great. You can go and see. If you press the down arrow, go to view submissions. There's your submission. If you click there, you can download the markup with live comments. And then it'll go through and tell you what you did wrong. Goes through a list of everything you missed. The next tab at the bottom where it says sheet is your actual project. It'll mark in there and tell you what you did wrong. Okay, with the little arrow. Then go back to the original file that you submitted, not this one. Go back to the original one that you had, like the one that I had on the desktop. Right here. Make all the changes and submit it. Anything that was marked right, you don't have to do again. You can just make the changes that it said that it marked wrong and resubmit the project for a better grade. And you can do that as many times as you want to until the due date. Okay? All right, questions? I know you guys are. Okay, good. All right, welcome to class, and we will see you on Wednesday for our first lecture.